It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. On the return, Andy Isabella. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
A run with counter on first down, going to get about 5. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
A little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Murray.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Room here to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the catch and run. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Play fake. Murray. Out to his left. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So a 1st quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much He's got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 7 yards, the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Wilson looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Throwing again here, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second and goal from the 1. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields this way up at the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Second down and 8. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They fake the handoff. Now Murray rolling to his right. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing now is Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Murray now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Murray. Able to find Isabella. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Like 9. 12.
Now it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught.
inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play? For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 58 to Mike. 58. Check. Cover, baby. Cover, baby. 58. Right over there.
Here's Wilson.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Touchdown! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Murray. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
Now Myers for the extra point. Can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Buying time to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
To throw is Murray. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Green, green, green. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Murray now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll try to run with Edmonds. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Murray. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw again on second down. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got him in. Complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
58 to Mike, 58.
Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford.
Brandon, these cornerbacks had their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. This one caught by Isabella. And he is out of bounds all the way up near midfield. A big play there just before halftime. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, you know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. It's Desmond Trufant, and the Seahawks force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Second and 8 coming up.
Check out it. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
There's Wilson to throw. And that's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
58's the mic. 58. Listen. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Seattle.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Check tight. 58's the mic. 58's the mic. Record.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Again, Wilson. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Here comes Nelson. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On play action, it's Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. A gain of 6 there on first. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
4 yards remain for second down.
Drop deep, drop deep. 56, the mic, boys, 56. Check.
Murray going to throw. He'll buy some time right. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Pettis now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. And some room to roam now. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, Isabella. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Now left side on the swing pass. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And Murray gets this into the hands of Edmonds. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll get this underneath to Edmonds. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Again, they'll throw with Murray. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 108 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Right left, right left.
Now it's Wilson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He'll take it at the 42. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
56. Max 56. Watch the run. Watch the run. Right there, 56.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now it's Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
56. Mike's 56. Let's go.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Murray now. Flushed out right. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now Murray's got to have this one. Being chased out left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. To throw, it's Murray. He'll go out to the flat for Edmonds. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Flush to his right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Behind the chains, 2nd and 3rd. Another try after the first down sack. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. On 2nd down, it's Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they will finally get an extra week to heal up a bit as they will get the late bye in Week 12. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.